single thing. Curtis, leave them pipes alone, no need to swing. You lost your sandals and your pride last week. Got choked out again at tobacco plus OG.
And good evening. We hope everybody is having a wonderful Thursday. It is the Group Chat Podcast. We are live here on this final regular episode of the month of September, which is crazy because September has flown on by. We knew it would. We're having football and everything, we knew that it would. But we got a lot of stuff to cover today. I'm Casey Just Clear. He is Nick Abear. He is Damian St. Pierre. Damian, how you feeling, bro? You still rocking the Pedialyte, man? Well, let's get some brand recognition there. Then Pedialyte could become a sponsor.
I'm trying to get my wits back, man. I feel good holding some food in, but trying to hydrate myself back to normal life. Setting up today was a task. I'm a little out of breath, but nonetheless, I'm getting back. We're on the good side. And if for those not paying attention at home, I was down from Saturday afternoon until probably yesterday evening.
Bruce Lee poisoned you on Saturday.
Oh, no doubt. Takes our power, takes my power.
Let's talk some college football for a second. LSU playing Ole Miss. Pissed on Ole Miss, man. LSU's going to be playing in Oxford. Ole Miss has a new quarterback, a new starting quarterback, because their starter is available, but they're just going with the backup. They're going to be playing Trinidad. He's a Division II transfer. He has played well, but there's a lot of people that are concerned. Hey, look, this ain't Tulane. This ain't Arkansas. He's facing the big dogs now. LSU's coming into the game with an offense that looked better, but albeit they were facing by far their worst competition of the season. And it's a road game. It's a road game at Oxford, where LSU in the last couple of years has not had a tremendous amount of success. What are we expecting to see? LSU is an underdog in the game. They're a 1.5-point underdog. They were also underdogs against Clemson, mind you, so I guess that doesn't necessarily matter a whole lot. But what are we expecting to see Saturday when the Tigers line up at 2:30 and take on the Rebels?
I'm still on my 2-week hiatus. I did like what I saw out of the offense, wondering where the hell that came from. I know we weren't facing a juggernaut at all, but just opening it up a little bit, getting some new faces in there. Juwan Johnson looked like a freaking stud. The dude's got a nose for the end zone. What is he, the all-time leading yardage quarterback or touchdown person in high school football?
In high school
history.
He was so good in high school.
Obviously, the guy knows how to get yards. He knows how to get scores. It was good to see him get going. It's good to see Nussmeier be super accurate. Defense is what it is. They dominated. It was a good showing by the Tigers. And crazy how Brian Kelly had 0 sound bites after this week. Nobody questioned him in 3X shirts that maybe should have been wearing opposite small shirts that should have been wearing 3X. He quieted the critics for at least a week. I know we'll pick the game later. Trinidad Chambliss, all-time great quarterback names. And you say, yeah, he's from whatever. I listened to a podcast this week on Cam Ward. Why am I listening to a podcast on Cam Ward? I have no earthly idea. But Cam Ward came from Incarnate Word. Yep. Cam Ward didn't play football until he was like a sophomore or junior in high school. Those are the type of guys that scare me. But even with that being said, I don't think Ole Miss has the defense to keep that LSU offense that we saw last week at bay. Do we go back into that vanilla gallon of ice cream that we have been prior to the Southeastern game, and we try not to score and let our defense win it? What I do like about it is it's not going to be a situation where we haven't seen the guy. Blake Baker's got some film on this guy. From what I understand, the Chambliss was the backup, obviously. Got his job because the starting quarterback went down. Everybody wanted to see him regardless. And now the starting quarterback may be ready to go, and they're still going with him.
Yep.
Case, I know you're not big into the whole – well, I don't know. You a Swiftie and Kelsey guy.
Yeah, what's up?
What's going on with Weeks and Lane Kiffin's daughter?
Oh, no, I'm all about this.
Hell of a week
who's that. Getting the advantage in this situation?
I think
in which situation?
Is Lane Kiffin sending his daughter to Wit Weeks? Or
Weekend at Wit Weeks.
Yeah, we say that one 10 times. Is he sending his daughter to be a spy, or is
no, dude? LSU gets the edge, man.
There's more to it
because
chess, not checkers. Who's playing
because
chess? Who's playing checkers?
it's Wit Weeks, dude. Lane's going to be trying to one up his son-in-law all game, running tosses and shit, and he's going to be destroying everybody all game. You can't one up Wit Weeks, dude. This is the same guy who last year did a Stone Cold Steve Austin celebration in the end zone. Like, yeah, no, this is going to be advantage LSU. Trinidad Chambly, until LSU shows me that they could stop a quarterback running, I'm not going to believe it, even though this year's defense hasn't had those issues. Last week, 14 carries, 112 yards against Tulane. You got to shut down the legs. The legs are what's going to make the arm go. He wants to roll out, be outside of the pocket, much like we saw last week, honestly, with the Cleveland kid at Central Lafourche. He wants to be outside of the pocket. He wants to draw the DBs in. He wants to throw it over your head. I don't think that's going to work as well against LSU because I think those DBs are going to hold up down the field, and I think those linebackers are going to chase his ass down. So if LSU could do as I'm saying, they could maybe slow down that Ole Miss offense. On the flip side, can LSU run the football? That is going to be the big storyline coming into the game because, while, yes, LSU did bully Southeastern, and while, yes, they did get everything going and they did all this great stuff, they really still struggled to run the football. 35 carries, 135 yards is really not very good given the opponent. If it's all Nuss, that's tough because they're going to be able to tee off on them a little bit. You got to be able to find a way to run the football.
One thing that worries me is that Nuss was on his back a lot against Southeastern.
He did get hit a lot.
No reason he should be getting hit that much and sacked that much against Southeastern. Like, our offensive line needs to step up. They need to dominate, and they need to give Nuss some time to throw the ball. They need to give some running lanes to our running backs. But this Chambliss guy from Ferris State, I believe.
Ferris Bueller, baby.
Division III. I mean, this guy comes with a resume. He's beaten the likes of Grand Valley State, Northern Michigan, Saginaw Valley State, Davenport, Harding, Slippery Rock. I mean, I don't know.
You know where Brian Kelly won his 2 natties? At Grand Valley State. He won 2 natties at Grand Valley State, NCAA Division III.
Maybe that's the level he tops out at.
Caden Durham, questionable. It's not likely that he's going to play. Harlan Berry breakout game?
Hell yes.
Jawan Johnson breakout game?
Give me Jawan Johnson.
I think Jawan Johnson's our best running back. I think he's our best running back.
I loved what I saw out of him last week. I know, look, I'm kind of switching all over the place. How big of a freaking crybaby is Lane Kiffin?
Oh, he's a bitch.
I love him.
Yeah, he's a bitch, though. Yeah.
Would I take him as a coach in Baton Rouge? Absolutely. But bitching about the portal.
Last year, they bought everybody.
Sorry if we're better at it than what you are.
They look like they spent so much money.
Talking about a bought defense and blah, blah, blah. I cannot pick a team to win that Sage Ryan plays for.
Ooh, yeah, and they also have Logan Diggs. I would love to see a 4th and 1 and they give it to Logan Diggs and we plant his fast on the ground. I would love
one stat about Lane Kiffin.
You would get 1 yard.
Lane Kiffin has a career record of 32-31 versus AP top 25 teams. His record is 11-24 specifically against SEC opponents ranked in the top 25, and 3-14 in true road games. Oh, it's a home game. So where's that?
It's in Oxford.
Yeah, okay, so
How about
that last sentence?
How about his comments prior to knowing the game time? Oh, well, I knew we'd play LSU at home at 2:30, and then we knew they would play at 6:30 tonight the week after. Dude, cry about it. Win some games. Win some games.
Up, dude. Boys, there was such a concern amongst some of the folks in the Gisclair household. Now, the Gisclair household is very pessimistic, but there was some concerns about LSU's quarterback position post Nussmeier. Not anymore. We got a dude, bro.
Oh.
We got to do it. Van Buren's good. And look, as a true freshman last year at Mississippi State, he was not bad. He had no help. He was not bad. He comes to LSU in the portal and basically says, hey, look, I'm willing to redshirt this year. The following season, I'll be a sophomore again, can maybe take the job. He played his first of what's going to be 4 games this year and was very, very good. 10 of 12, 122, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, running, making plays with his legs, got a rushing touchdown. Boys, I liked what I granted it's Southeastern, but I liked what I saw. That was very impressive.
I'm glad we got to see it because we got to see the future. There was a lot of reports coming out of practice and coming out of camps that he didn't look great in different situations, wasn't very accurate, couldn't move the ball, blah, blah, blah. Dude is obviously a gamer. Obviously, it's Southeastern, but we're going to have someone that's taking some meaningful snaps, not albeit at LSU. We'll have somebody with some experience. The dude can run. He's pretty accurate, and I don't know what else you would want to run your type of team. I'm not going to say on a Jaden Daniels type of level, but, man, this dude, he looked a lot like Lenora Sellers coming in and taking over in that second half. Which, let's talk about that a little bit. What the hell were the starters doing in the second half?
Yeah.
And the first play, Nuss got destroyed.
Yeah, Nuss gets killed on the first. Yeah, I don't know if you guys watched the little hype video that they posted, but Brian Kelly's told the team at halftime, let's go get a score, and then let's see some of your brothers get the chance to play. Yeah, no, just put them in that out of half, dude.
And I had taken the under. What the hell are we doing with the starters in the second half?
Yeah.
I was struggling.
That was rough. Saturday is going to be a ridiculously good day for college football, not even just factoring in LSU. We got USC and Illinois, which is going to be a good one, nationally ranked teams. Ohio State traveling to take on Washington. There's some people saying upset alert there. We got Auburn and Texas A&M. We've got Oregon and Penn State. That's number 3 versus number 6. We've got Georgia versus Alabama. That's number 5 versus number 17. Saturday is going to be one of those plant your ass on the couch all day long days. It is going to be from sun up to sundown. Really, really good college football. I didn't even mention Notre Dame and Arkansas. That's going to be a fun one as well. Cannot wait. One of the best Saturdays so far. This is going to be a whole lot of fun.
I found there wasn't much, what's the word I'm looking for? Wasn't a lot of oomph behind last week. But there were some damn good games last week. We left alumni early just to come watch some games.
Yep.
Thinking, hey, look, we just want to go watch some football. But it ended up being some damn good games. Oklahoma and Auburn was really good. Kind of went down to the wire. Nebraska and Michigan was really good. My guy Underwood got it done, bro. He's legit. You could hate him.
Yeah,
he's
good.
100% legit. And going to be a hell of a slate again this weekend. If you worried, oh, I want to watch football, I can't go to the fair. Yeah, you can, bro. We got TVs. Promise you. We'll have every single game on with the Ryder Cup going. And I've already made arrangements to make sure that we got good Wi-Fi. It's going to be on this weekend.
See, I love that now that I did a Lane Kiffin titty baby sound. Now everybody's talking like that. That is beautiful to me. Of the non-LSU college games, what are y'all looking forward to more? Ohio State and Oregon or Georgia and Alabama?
I think Oregon and Penn State's going to – Oregon's been demolishing folks. I don't think that's going to be as close. Alabama, Georgia is going to be that typical SEC grind it out. I'm not going to – do we have – yeah, that's on our –
It is Oregon and Penn State, so I said Ohio State. My bad.
Yeah, I got you. I knew where you were going, bro. I got you. See, you made a mistake. I got you.
Yeah, and now I need more training, and how dare this be on video?
I tell you what, if I got paid more every time I made a mistake at work, I'd be loaded. I'm very, very much looking forward to Alabama, Georgia. You're going to put one of those teams down the ranks, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, but I think Alabama's on a roll, and I think Georgia's in for a hurting, which – if LSU could be successful, puts them right in the driver's seat for the SEC championship berth.
What time is that Penn State Oregon game? That's a noon game. It's a night game?
Yeah.
6:30 on the old Peacock.
Because if you got Oregon coming across country and starting at noon, which would be 9 o'clock for them or whatever.
It's at Oregon.
It's at Oregon?
It's at Penn State.
It's at Penn State. Yeah.
Not Happy Valley. I learned that last week.
So
that's the one I'm looking most forward to is Oregon, Penn State. You got a really good Oregon offense against a really good Penn State defense. Penn State hasn't been playing to their potential, I believe, this year. Oregon has been playing, I believe, above their potential. So that should be an interesting game.
I didn't realize you were such a Big Ten fan.
If
it's on Fox. Barstool.
This game's not on Fox. It's on NBC.
No, the big whatever the noon kickoff, whatever the hell they call it.
Mistake. You get paid more.
Yep.
Give me that raise.
That's going to be a good joke for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. If Alabama loses to Georgia, is that the horse getting taken behind the barn? Are they done?
No, they played some really good football since that odd opening game against Florida State. And I just think it's a heavyweight matchup. One of these games, obviously, it puts you on the downside and outside of the playoffs looking in. But it's like we talked about in boxing. It's one of these heavyweight matchups. You got two really good teams. I don't think either team taking the loss falls that far down.
Either way, if Alabama loses or wins in Georgia, let's say they lose to Georgia.
Happening.
When LSU plays against Alabama this year, would that change how confident you are that LSU can win that game? It doesn't for me. It's still Alabama. It's still going to be a tough game, and I never go into that game thinking we're going to win.
See, the thing that I think gives me a little confidence this year in playing Alabama is that their quarterback's a statue. I think we should be able to tear his head off, but we'll see Saturday what it looks like against an actual offense, because there is a world where LSU has not faced a good offense all year.
Let's talk about LSU's resume this year, which is getting bashed on social media
as it
lately.
should.
You got Clemson, who apparently is terrible.
Yep.
You got La Tech, who is possibly the best out of the bunch we've played this year.
I've been trying to tell y'all, bro.
Florida, who's
terrible.
Awful. You have Southeastern, who's Southeastern. I mean, kudos to them. They made a lot of money playing against LSU. But our resume just looks awful right now, which kind of scares me. Going into the SEC.
That's the biggest concern that I have, is that I don't, even with the defense, I do think the defense is legit, but I don't think they've played a good offense. And I know we don't have Tommy on right now, but how could Florida on a bye week keep Billy Napier, right? Keep Billy Napier after getting 7 first downs, 0 of 13 on third down, 141 total yards, 61 passing yards. Like, what are they needing to see to get rid of this dude? Like, what are they hanging on to? This was your bye. This is your chance to sweep the dirty garbage into the trash can. Why is he still employed there? What more do they need to see?
If I had to guess, Napier has nudes of Scott Strickland, who is Florida's athletic director. There's no other realm of possibility or thought. I don't get it. But I did say last week, if he makes it through this week, he's good for the year. And you're not gonna. I don't know why you would make a move that would be a week to week move, I guess per se, rather than giving that interim coach 2 weeks to get ready.
Could they be holding on to him because of that rule that if your coach gets fired, you can transfer?
Maybe. They might be wanting to burn everybody's redshirt years so that, because if you do it after week 5, you can't have the, bro, I've played 4 games, now I'm going to sit out in redshirt. That literally might be what they're doing.
So Jeff's in the chat saying his buyout's $21 million.
Yeah,
they got the money.
They already said they got that, which is crazy that we're even having this conversation. Like when the university boosters are like, "Hey, bro, we would fire this. Like, we got the cash. Just go ahead and pull the trigger already, man."
Take a look at the Florida schedule, the remaining schedule. They got a bye week this week. Hopefully, they could manage to not get a loss this week. They got a home game versus Texas,
loss.
Away game versus Texas A&M,
loss.
Home game versus undefeated Mississippi State.
Dub.
Home game versus number 5 Georgia.
Loss.
At Kentucky.
Loss.
At Ole Miss.
Loss.
At Tennessee.
Loss.
No, home against Tennessee. And home against Florida State to end the season.
They're going to go 3-9.
Wow.
Maybe 4-8. Maybe 4-8.
Bring back Urban Meyer.
They wish he would.
Well, if only
Zook, Spurrier, anybody but somebody.
Well, but here's the thing. This is why I don't understand what the loyalty is. Okay,
Dan Mullen.
They fired Dan Mullen, who legitimately was pretty good. He was 34-15. They fired his ass, got him out of there after one bad year. He's now 4-0 at UNLV and is doing a good job there. So why is it that Napier, who's 20-22, gets to stay, but Mullen, who was 19 games above 500, gets shown the door immediately after one bad year?
I'm going with if you fired a coach, anybody, whatever. Is it anybody or just the guys that coach brought in?
Anybody. Yeah, anybody.
Yeah, they would lose half their roster. Because these kids are probably just looking for a way out of Florida.
Oh,
He is a plus, and I say he, pronouns, pal. Sunbelt Billy is a plus 150 as a favorite to be the next college football coach fired.
That's crazy, man. That's absolutely crazy. Let's talk some NFL.
Hey, before we move on,
Yeah.
something that's been a pretty big story this week that came out, the annual opponents.
Oh,
for
yeah.
the SEC.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone got a pretty fair shake. I feel like it was actually done the correct way. We're not playing Georgia, Alabama, and Florida every year.
I thought Alabama would get Nicholls, Southeastern, and Tulsa, and they would just count those as conference. I thought it was fair too.
So for the folks at home, LSU, their 3 annual opponents are going to be Arkansas, Ole Miss, and A&M. Obviously ties to, I guess, rivalries with most of those schools. Keep it in game, right? Everybody figured that Alabama would get, like what Casey just said, they got tasked with Auburn, Mississippi State, and Tennessee. I mean, Mississippi State, they're going to have their 9-4, 9-3, whatever type of year every decade. But Auburn's, I mean, they're decent. And then Tennessee's been pretty good on the Josh Heupel. Anybody got the shaft?
They say that Auburn has the worst, and they got Alabama, Georgia, and Vanderbilt.
I mean, that is pretty tough.
But
It's
the
tough.
way they did it, did y'all see the formula that they used? If you finished in the top half of the conference, you get 2 top half opponents and 1 bottom half. If you finish in the bottom half, you get 2 bottom halves and 1 top half.
That's all right. I'm okay with that.
I'm all about data-driven decisions.
I'll tell you this. In 2026, LSU gets A&M, Arkansas, Ole Miss, but the rest is brutal. Next year's schedule is brutal. You do play Alabama. You play Texas, at Auburn, at Tennessee.
Clemson.
You also got Clemson. Yeah, that's going to be tough. But then 2027 won't be so bad. And I say that knowing that they play at Georgia in 2027. But 2027 won't be too bad. It's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out. 9-game conference schedule. And unfortunately for the likes of Nicholls and Southeastern, a lot of people are saying that the game that's going to get eliminated is going to be the FCS game, that big buy game. So I don't know where a lot of them schools are going to get their money, but we'll find out, I guess, in the future.
Does Dabo make it out?
No.
This year?
You gotta. Here's the thing: if you're Clemson, I'm not 1,000% sure you could get someone better. But just looking at the way that he's handling the portal, looking at the way he's handling NIL,
look at the way he's handling losing and the way the sound bites that he's giving out the games.
You gotta, as an AD, tell him, dude, we gotta do some different. We got to. You've got to start bringing in portal guys. You got to start. This NIL of Jesus Christ or whatever, like that he was talking about last year. Obviously, the kids aren't buying into that. You're 1-3, and I get it. You won some national championships and all that, and you're more successful than anybody's ever been at Clemson. But right now, it ain't happening. And the downfall started right when the sport started to change. They got to start having some conversations with him because this was supposed to be their year. They made the playoffs last year, brought everybody back. And they're 1-3 because they didn't get better. They just stayed stagnant, and they're stuck in the mud, man. They're not good.
I think they're going to have that, and this is what it is, that come to Jesus meeting with Dabo Sweeney. You got to start playing the portal, and you got to lose the khakis. And you could come back.
I don't think the second part is going to ever happen, but the first part, they may be able to pull.
Ren had a question in the chat. Excuse me. Will Brian Kelly be around in 2027?
I think so.
I'm on 2-week hiatus. Give me another week, and I'll bet I answer that question. Put that in the mailbag, Ren.
I think so.
Okay, let's talk about Dabo Sweeney a little more.
Sure.
I believe this team just gave up on him.
That's the thing. Like that's my biggest thing, Nick, is I wonder if when LSU beat them where they may be good and they're just not trying now, they just quit on them. That's the only piece of hope that I'm clinging on to.
They have superior talent to most of the teams that they're playing against, and they just are getting nothing from those kids. And it looks like they just gave up on them, and I think that's the problem. And Dabo, is such an egomaniac that he can't adjust to it. He's like, this is how I coached in 2010. This is how I'm going to coach in 2025. Not play in the portal. You're losing out on key guys that you can bring into your team to make your team better. Yet, like he said, if Clemson's tired of winning, then they could send me on my way. And
but
it's
you
like
winning, bro.
Yeah. He said that he's good for 10 wins a season or whatever, however the quote went. And he said that they're basically like Brian Kelly, like everybody's like all the Clemson fans are selfish for like he wins games, so don't get mad at him that he's just having a down year or whatever.
And you know what's crazy is, and I really believe this is a thing, when you're not forking out mucho grande and you're not paying, but you making $10 million a year and you're not willing to take a little bitty slice off of, but I really believe that this is something that Brian Kelly did that helped him get the locker room. Brian Kelly donated $1 million of his own cash to the NIL collective. I think players saw that, said, hey, this got our back. And I think that's a big part of why LSU did so well in the portal, more than the $15 million investment or whatever. When you see the coach actually put his own cash in there, that matters. Dabo has not been willing to do anything like that, and he's still one of the highest paid coaches. So you got players that are playing for free and a coach that's up there at the top of the mountain. That ain't a recipe anymore. That 10 years ago that flew. That ain't the recipe anymore, boss. Not at all.
What does he have to do to get fired?
Continue to play like they've been playing the last couple weeks.
You think one bad year and he's getting fired?
I think he will be told you're changing, and if not, we're making you do the Maneri. He's going to be forced to resign. I don't think they would fire him. I think they would force him to resign.
It's not the results; it's the process.
Yep,
and you got to play with the times.
Yep, no doubt. Let's jump into the pros for just a second. Whew. The New Orleans Saints are fresh off of getting kicked on Sunday. They lost to the Seahawks 44-13. I think. I don't even know. I lost count. It was a failure in every area. The offense wasn't very good. The defense wasn't very good. The special teams was atrocious, getting kicks blocked, kicks returned, missing field goals. This was kind of what we were waiting for, right? Weeks 1 and 2, it wasn't too bad, but it was losses. We were waiting for the ineptitude to come in on the Amazon truck. Well, it showed up last Sunday. Now you get rewarded for getting destroyed by Seattle, and you get to go play at Buffalo. I really believe this is a huge game for Kellen Moore. What I mean by that, and look, please understand, I'm not saying New Orleans is going to win this game. But if you go back and you look in the NFL, teams that get embarrassed, usually the next week play pretty well. New Orleans got embarrassed last week. Can Kellen Moore circle the wagons and at least get this team to be competitive at Buffalo? Big for me to see, does he have that locker room rolling? This is a big one for New Orleans. I don't think they're going to win, but if they could put together a 31-21 loss and look somewhat like a football team, I think that would be a good sign. What say you? I know, Nick, you told me earlier you don't think this is going to be as bad as people think. What are you expecting to see?
Yeah, that spread 15.5 is a lot. And that's not something that you see in the NFL too much. So that says a lot about the Bills, and it says even more about the Saints. But I don't see it. I mean, it's hard to say I don't see it getting out of hand like that after watching the Seahawks game. But I really do not see it getting out of hand. I think it's going to be close. Maybe a 10-point win for the Bills. Saints ain't winning this game for sure, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Bills played close with the Dolphins last week, Thursday night. Yeah. Was that a Thursday night thing, or was that a Bills not being locked in type of thing?
We'll find out, I guess. I can't imagine a world where the Saints just lock up Josh Allen, though. And I can't also imagine a world where the Saints just like go torch and score 30 on the road at Buffalo. But you got to show me some fire because, man, that game was over in the middle of the second quarter.
I love the thought process. And I'm sorry to cut you off.
Good.
I thought you were done. I love the thought process that folks have. It was 8.5, 8, 9, depending on when you got it, the spread last week for the Saints and Seahawks game. They lost 44-13. And this week, the odds makers put a wider margin against a better team. And we're like, no. Way too much. Not for my Saints.
It's a huge number. It really is. But I could see a 31-10, which covers. I could see a 34-13, which covers.
I could see a 21-24 Bills win.
I could see that too. I could see this. Look, the Saints do stupid. I could see them playing lights out, having the lead all game and blowing it at the end. Like, I could see all of that stuff.
This is a trap game for anybody in a Survivor League.
I wouldn't.
Everybody's taking the Bills, so let's freaking go, Saints. This is the week to sneak out of. This is the every once in a while, every year you'll get the Saints winning a game they have no business winning. This is that week, and I'm rooting hard for the Saints to get that win because everybody in Survivor League's picking the Bills to win because it's a layup. Saints are coming in and they're winning this game.
Some commentary at the end of the Dolphins-Bills game a week ago tonight was that the Bills fans were chomping at the bits for tickets because they never play at noon and they never get to see their stadium in daylight because every game's at night. And that the tickets right now as low as $180.
Everybody's going through it.
And it's against the Saints. People want to get there early. They want to party. They're going to go through tables. They're ready to roll.
Look, people are going to say that I'm a hater, and I probably am. I'm not all that convinced that Kellen Moore's doing a very good job right now. What do bad and poorly coached teams do? Commit penalties? Check.
That first drive or the first quarter, it was bad.
What do poorly coached teams do? Struggle in special teams? Check. They got a lot of red flags. Let's talk about the Ryder Cup real quick, and then we'll get the counselor on the line. But no, he's offering to chime in. Team USA against Team Europe this weekend. We've announced the first matchups. They're going to be out at the crack of dawn tomorrow. They're going to be starting at like 6 o'clock tomorrow. But a couple of interesting things before I guess we can maybe dive into who we think is going to win is Ed Ogeron was there earlier this week. He was hanging out. He was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He was starting a USA chant in the crowd. The rumor is that tomorrow afternoon, Donald Trump will be there and will be spending Friday, Saturday, Sunday as a presence to try to rally the United States together. So let me ask you this. You're on a golf course. You're playing or you're walking, whatever, just, watching. Who would you rather be hanging out with, Donald Trump or Coach Ed Ogeron? But I got to tell you what, both of them would be on my list. Who would you prefer hanging out with?
Got a better chance of partying and not getting shot if you're hanging out with Coach O.
That's fair. That's fair.
And probably talking to some sweeties.
That's Trump's got that rep too now. But yeah, that's fair. Nick?
Who I'd rather hang out with? Probably Coach O. Who I'd rather meet? Definitely DJT.
Okay. As a professional golfer, and look, here's the thing. Golf is one of them sports that has not gone woke. These guys play with Trump all the time. They don't apologize for it. They don't get shamed. They don't get canceled. His being there is going to actually mean a lot to these dudes. Like he and Bryson DeChambeau are buds. He and Scotty Scheffler are buds. So I do think that it's going to be interesting to see if they could rally around the president being on hand.
I do think that the clip that you posted on Bayou Sports, and if you're not a friend of Bayou Sports, make sure you are following and keeping up in them cases. Post some really good stuff. But talked about Coach O giving the pump-up speech is just to the crowd.
Yeah.
Let's see what Coach O had to say.
Loud and proud, baby. Here we go.
USA, 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 USA.
He's got such a great life right now, dude.
And he wants to go back to coaching.
He's rich. He's traveling the world. He's got a young blonde. He's like, he drinks Red Bull all day. Like, he's got such an amazing life.
That's why I don't think he's going to Arkansas. Like, that seems like a miserable place to be a coach at.
You know what? Give me a pairing, 18 holes with Coach O, Trump, and John Daly. That would, and when I die, that may be exactly where I'm going to end up. That may be my heaven.
Well, to your point, Nick, the current Arkansas coach grew breasts during his time coaching there. So, I mean, crazy things tend to happen. We welcome one of our sponsors of the law office of Tommy J. Botto. Tommy Botto, what's good, man? How we doing, counselor?
We are doing great. Just enjoying this lovely golf talk that we're having.
I thought that was an echo.
Can we hang up on him already? Like, he's already pissing
playing
on
golf
us
this weekend.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's pissing on us talking golf. He's missing the Hurricane Festival to go play golf.
Well, sometimes when you're a sponsor, you have to continue and follow through with your sponsorships.
Give your event a shout out, bro.
I am going to be participating in the John Curtis Men's Club first ever golf tournament that I was hoping some of you gentlemen would be, but obviously I understand your prior commitments, and I'm very upset that I will not be wearing an apron, shotgunning beers, and frying up various foods all weekend.
Come Sunday. Tommy's an MVP at a fair sometimes, man. We had a freaking blast last year.
Two mountains met last summer. Last fall, and it was very festive.
Can we tell that story?
Yes.
So every year we get
allegedly.
No, this happened.
Correct, factual.
Every year we get blank aprons, and we'll cut out vinyl and put random sayings. Last year, this time, the big hype was from your boy from Lockport that went to the council meeting and went off on one of the councilmen. So we put...
That was already a year ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we put that quote, two mountains may never meet, but two men will. We put that on an apron. We took a picture because, we take pictures for the gram, right? Well, there was some back talk of, who made that? I should be getting paid, blah, blah, blah. So it was later in the afternoon. We had a couple of adult beverages, and Tommy decides, nobody owns that. I'm going to own that. And went through the process of copywriting that phrase.
That's why he's our attorney, baby.
So yeah, pretty much verbatim. It's not officially copyrighted. It's registered in Louisiana. So technically, if anybody tried to copyright it, we own the trade name in the state. If it becomes national, might be a different story. But if somebody would try to bootleg phrasing T-shirts, technically, maybe now since Group Chat DTB is an entity, maybe they own it. I don't know.
Love to hear it. That's why he's our attorney. Hey, pull up that sponsor list if you don't mind. Do you want to go ahead and give some love to all of our sponsors here while we got a spare minute? We're going to talk about Zion Williamson in just a smidge.
Where is that? Ooh, right here.
We want to go ahead and thank Buzz Off. They are our phone line sponsor. We want to thank Down South Cards and Bats, Lafouche Concert and Events Club. They are our mailbag sponsor. We'll get to them in just a second. Martin's AC and Electric, the Blue Boot Foundation, Performance Automotive and Accessories, DTB Clothing. We already told you about the law office of Tommy J. Botto. And last but not least, our presenting sponsor for tomorrow's South Lafouche High School pregame show, Neil's Small Engine. We thank all of those fine folks so much for their support of what we're doing here. Could not be here without their support.
And as always, if you'd like to join that list of sponsors, hit us up. There's plenty of room on that graphic for more sponsors.
Absolutely. Very affordable. And I think that we're growing, and I think we're doing right by a lot of people. And I think that our local kids and our local coaches would agree with that.
Thought Nick was about to give and as always,
go Tarpon. Nick just decided the show was over. Sorry,
Shut
guys.
it down.
I know we
Damn.
got some more on the agenda, but that's all for us tonight.
Just bought the show and I'm shutting it down.
Zion Williamson wants everybody to kiss his ass now because he's actually in shape. And to the point of maybe not even being in shape because he looks anorexic now. He's very thin. What do we make of Zion? Thin Zion, 250-pound Zion instead of 350-pound Zion. Are we expecting a big, huge season from Mr. Zion Williamson?
Remember back in the 80s mid-90s when wrestling started these hype videos and some of these guys would come in and just fall flat on their face. I feel like every single season you got one trying out the Zion's Rip gimmick. Didn't work. Trying out the Rip shoe gimmick. Obviously, that was the first season. Didn't work. Now we're trying out the Ozempic Zion. It's not going to work. You're not getting over. It is what it is. He is what we thought he would be.
Is that really him in those pictures, though?
Well,
because I saw one that said something about it being Dennis Schroeder.
The one where it's like a guy who's like from South Sudan is not him, but he is noticeably much thinner and is in fairly good shape. But there are some where it's like a guy with his face and it's like a 150-pound body. Those are, maybe a little Photoshop, maybe a little Chat GPT.
Let me see if you could Chat GPT somebody on Ozempic.
I mean, we could obviously make Zion bigger because it's the title of our actual group chat is a picture of fat Zion. So we obviously could do that. Tommy, you're maybe a little more of a Pelicans optimist than some of us here. Are you excited about skinny Zion this year?
I am excited about the skinny Zion memes, including the ones I'm already seeing. And the greatest one I saw today was the Zion's basically telling everybody, hey, look at me. I'm the captain now, because that's exactly who he looks like. And there's two things here now. One, he's going to get hurt because it's his flimsy low-top shoes, because I recently had to purchase a new pair of basketball shoes.
You did not buy your kid Zion shoes.
No. I bought myself some, and I was perusing those. They're so low-top, no wonder he gets hurt. But B, now he's so skinny, he's going to get like the Sean Bradley kind of injuries where like now he's so frail, his leg will just like snap like a twig. It's not going to be like load and stress on it. It's going to be like he won't be able to withstand the rigors of an NBA season worse than already, because now he's just like anorexic. So he's in a lose-lose situation. That
is a fantastic point. So call it what you want. I've been on medication. I've been on non-medication. I've lost weight. I've gained weight. Whatever. I'm fat. I'm thin. I'm fat. I'm thin. That's the old Jerry Seinfeld, by the way. She's fat. She's thin. She's fat. She's thin. When you get down, you don't know how much less power that you have. It's tough. I got down on 189 or 190, and things I could do as a 300-pound man, I could not do. Now, there's good things and there's bad things, obviously, but some of the power and lifting and things like that, and even somebody pushing you, and I can't imagine playing a 15-game NBA season like Zion's going to be able to play.
So Zion misses a lot of games with a lot of different injuries. So if you see him missing a game because of constipation, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, hypoglycemia, dizziness, gallbladder disease, loss of appetite, Ozempic face, pancreatitis, allergic reactions, et cetera, we know how he lost this weight.
Ozempic, baby.
And just be aware that he will be missing a lot of games because of acute kidney injuries, confusion, and swelling of the extremities.
It feels like the Pelicans do have a lot of guys that miss the game with like flu-like symptoms.
Boy, our training staff is they got a lot of stuff they've never seen before coming this year.
So one thing that I did take exception to in the media day thing was Zion continuously saying, man, like Joe Dumars is on my ass, bro. Like, bro, I got to do stuff like Joe Dumars. Does this team not have a head coach? Why is it up to the general manager of the team to make sure that Zion's in shape? Why is it up to the general manager of the team to make sure that Zion's there on time? You literally have a head coach who you should have fired in the last offseason because he went 21-61, for God's sake. But why is it falling on the general manager to lead the day-to-day maintenance of Zion Williamson when you have a head coach who should be doing this? Why is it all falling on Dumars? His job is to build a roster, not to babysit the star players making $50 million a year. Well, I don't understand that.
Probably because the coach is frustrated and he's like, trade this off my team. And the guy's like, no, he just needs to get in shape. Well, you get him in shape, and that's what happened.
All right, Tommy, you were saying something. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that, well, essentially kind of what Nick was saying, because he knows his only way to possibly build that roster out is one of two ways. The miracle on I don't even know which street, the miracle on Dave Dixon Drive, that Zion actually becomes something resembling what he was supposed to be, this next great thing. And then people finally want to come here and play with him, and the team goes, or he stays healthy for half a season, rehabilitates his trade value, and then Dumars could ship his ass out, which is probably what Dumars would do if finally he came around, because that's what Joe Dumars does, is screw things up. But,
trade Zion for Charlie Villanueva.
Correct. So, but it's going to be pretty funny with Monster Majaro over here coming from Oliver Miller status to Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see.
He's a bully. He plays bully ball. He get in the limited appearances he has, he does those stupid things like rips rebounds from people. He'll jump 67 feet out there and slam the ball in 360. Like,
now he's a shooting guard,
plowing through the lane in a little frail Ozempic body. Now I'd love to see it. it's going to be must-see TV.
It's a little bit of a bummer that they're not going to, be in Louisiana for most of their camp, as they're going out there to Australia playing some exhibition games. But we'll see what they got. They obviously got Jordan Poole now on the roster. You maybe get a little bit more of a talent boost, but you lose a lot of leadership, losing C.J. McCollum. DeJounte Murray is going to miss the beginning of the season, at least with the Achilles injury. We'll see. Really quick before we jump into our pick'em, odds that this team makes the playoffs, play-in included. Like, what's the percentage you would say? I'll start 35% chance.
That's where I was going. 30. I was going 37.
Yeah, Tommy.
That Zion plays the whole season?
No. That this is a playoff team, even including play-in.
20.
20, Nick?
What's the question?
What's the odds that the Pelicans make the playoffs, play-in included?
Probably 15.
Whew, damn. So me and Damien are the optimists here at the table. That's bad.
I don't want to say I'm over the Pelicans. I'm not. I just feel that they're going to get us excited. They're going to be a great team. It's going to be the same old story. Not necessarily with Zion. The core that they need on the floor will never always be together.
That's fair.
I'm a huge Trey Murphy fan. I kind of like the Jordan Poole signing, but when you put all the pieces that are supposed to be there, obviously, do we have a true point guard? Then Alvarado look, I'm not locked into the Pels as I used to be in years past. I know Alvarado got hurt in the FIBA or whatever. Like, is he legit going to come back soon? I know he was at media day, but is he ready? Like, it just seems that DeJounte Murray was supposed to be our dude. Like, what is going to happen? Are we going to have our top 8 people ever on the floor when we need them to make a run? Or are we going to do the thing where we're the most exciting team in the NBA for 4 weeks and then boom, one person goes down and then it just derails the season, like happens every single year, and everybody else in the West is getting stronger? That's why I'm saying 20.
That's the thing there, brother. The West is really good. A lot of my Pelicans pessimism comes from the perspective of, why would you be better than some of these other teams in the West who I think have really, really gotten a lot better? So we'll see how it goes. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show. For the boys, Nick to my right, Damien to my left, Tommy on the phone lines. This is Casey signing off. You guys have a tremendous weekend. Be safe. Enjoy the fair. And I think next Wednesday is when we'll be back. Take care. Thanks for listening.
Go Tarpons!
And God bless America.
Curtis, what you doing down my street? Barefoot again, can't fix a single thing. Curtis,